Class 1A high school football playoffs. Tonight, the number 2 seed Columbus Catholic Sailors square off against the number 3 seed Clarion-Goldfield-Dows Cowboys. I'm Marcus Chelson here alongside Jeff Bradley. Like to welcome our producer here, Chris Shipley from Three Beards Media. And we'll begin our coverage tonight in typical fashion with our coach's pregame interview. Jeff spoke with Columbus head coach Brad Schmidt, and here's what Coach Schmidt had to say about tonight's matchup between the Columbus Sailors and the visiting CGD Cowboys.
It was a squirrel, so Chelson called that one. Squirrel got in there, guy just connected something, and luckily we're here. So crisis averted. Could have been. We were all on eggshells there for a sec, but obviously out of anybody's control. But glad we're lighted up and we're getting ready to go here.
I want to recognize the seniors again.
Quarterback, you got Drew Schultz at running back. You got Kemonte Humphrey on the offensive and defensive lines. Caden Clark, offensive, defensive lines. You got Carlos Calabral. He's done a good job, doing some of the administrative stuff for us. Griffin Frost, a transfer from Cedar Falls. It's been a huge on scout team for us this year. He's ineligible. He's actually eligible here in a couple weeks. Nick Sarda, another guy that has filled in, stepped up for us. What is that, 6? Gosh, I'm sitting here. I'm always worried. I forgot one of them.
I thought you hit them all,
yep.
Coach. I thought you hit them all.
Okay.
So real quick, let's go through the season. Start off 2 real tough games. Then really almost ran the slate in the districts. And I kind of look back at that Lisbon game, just almost getting your hand raised that first time to start that momentum. I mean, in my book, and I've seen you coach a lot of years, one of your best coaching jobs this year. I truly think that. Talk about the season a little bit leading up to this playoff game.
Well, yeah, I think after the first week, we really got our teeth kicked in. And I knew that was a really good team, and then obviously you look at them now and they're 7-1 with 1 loss. That was kind of a fluke loss, so they could have been undefeated. Then you go play Grundy Center and, you're down a bunch of guys injury-wise, and we're just talking about, getting a couple first downs per half, we're trying to set some attainable goals. But I think that was a turning point for us because, the kids stayed the course. We ended up getting guys back from injury, and like you said, it's hard to win, and this group had to learn how to win. We won a tight one at Lisbon, and then like you said, we've gotten 5 out of the last 6. So, and the one loss, was a self-inflicted loss, and we beat ourselves that week, where it has been a heck of a coaching job from the staff. Kids bought in, bought what we were selling, stayed the course, and here we are.
First round of the playoffs, man. It's got to feel good. Got those nerves going. I look at this when I see the tape on them and hear things. A little bit like AP, like to control that line of scrimmage and run the ball. What's your keys to winning tonight?
Yeah, we gotta stay in our gaps. Got to be great with our eye discipline from a defensive back standpoint. We got to tackle. Okay, they're wanting to get 3-4 yards in the cloud of dust. They got some big kids. They got some decent athletes. Aren't going to throw it a whole lot, but I would say our run D has been pretty stout this year. So there's the defensive keys to victory. Offensively, I think with a broken record, you got to end each possession in a kick. You can't turn the ball over. You got to take care of the football. We got to end drives, score points. We got to minimize mental mistakes. No penalties. Got to stay ahead of the sticks, and if we do those things, I think we'll be successful.
Very good. Well, let's get back with the team. Good luck tonight, Coach. We'll see you.
Another great interview with Coach Schmidt there, Jeff. Let's talk a little bit about the dramatics here pre-game. Interesting situation. We were up in the booth getting ready about 6 o'clock. The teams are on the field warming up, and all of a sudden a big boom and a transformer blows and a cloud of smoke, and the stadium loses power. And so here we are an hour later, and how does the team adjust to that, or what do coaches do in the locker room to get your boys settled down and then cranked back up for game time?
Yeah, first things first, obviously a transformer blew, and it sounded like a bomb going off, so we knew we were in trouble. athletic director came by and said, "Hey, we got Mid-American coming. Maybe 10 minutes." And we all kind of raised our eyebrows. I don't know about that because we're standing out in the field pitch dark. Now, what we did learn, Marcus, is squirrels are not conductive to electricity, as we all have met through, in our 8th grade science classes. And hopefully I don't get any PETA people on my case for that joke. But no, we're up and running, man. And it's, we're 10 minutes out from kickoff. It is starting an hour late. I think what you do, it was weird because Clarion had already warmed up a little bit. So it's probably going to affect them maybe a little more. They had to go back in, relax, and warm up again. Columbus hadn't even came out yet. So I think they just stayed relaxed back in, the gym or the weight room, locker room area. And then when they had to come out, they had their 40-minute warm up and they're still staying on the field and they're ready to roll, I believe.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All great points there. With this being the first game of the playoffs and the regular season all wrapped up, let's talk a little bit about the seniors as Coach Schmidt did. You got Amani Robinson, Drew Schultz, Nick Sarda, Kimonte Humphrey, Caden Clark, Carlos Cabrejo, and Griffin Frost.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to see out of this senior crew to lead the Sailors tonight?
Well, obviously, I mean, a couple of those key guys. Amani, your quarterback, you're de facto leader just because he's the quarterback. He needs to have a good game. Kimonte, we need to block another punt and run that thing back like last week. I know that's asking a lot, but
big man touchdowns. We love those.
You really need to have some good senior leadership here in the playoffs, but really what you need is to own both lines of scrimmages, offense and defense.
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the unsung seniors here as we get ready for pregame and the national anthem and coin flip. Coach Schmidt specifically mentioned a guy like Griffin Frost, transfer player from Cedar Falls. According to state transfer rules, got to sit out a certain period of time and can't play. But Coach Schmidt really said, I talked to him yesterday about this, really a great, important leader for this team. Even though he's not on the field on game day, pushing the scout team, great locker room guy, and really making such a positive impact. And that's what you need out of your seniors, whether you're playing or not.
Yeah, a couple things about Griff. Now, I've known Griff for a long time. His sister and my daughter played travel softball and a little bit of volleyball together. So I've known Griff in a long time. He's a pretty darn good athlete. It's just too bad he didn't come last year,
Sure.
But if there's any chance that Columbus can win a couple games here, he would. In 2 weeks he'd be eligible, and then he'll be eligible for basketball, so he's going to help there.
That's great.
But Coach Smith said he would have got a ton of playing time if he was eligible, and he's hoping he's going to have a good career in basketball and just great on the scout team. Gives him great looks.
Yep. We are going to take a quick break and mute the mics. We will turn the crowd mic on for our national anthem, and then we'll be back with a little bit more pregame.
1A playoffs. Columbus Catholic is proud to host Clarion-Goldfield-Dows, the Cowboys. Welcome to our field. We're going to go ahead and get started with our national anthem, sung by Columbus Catholic senior Carly Morgan. Please stand.
Oh, say, can you see the dawn's early light? What so bright we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the herald sky
Wonderful job there by Miss Morgan, as always. So, Jeff, back to the pregame here. We talked a little bit about the seniors. Had a nice interview with Coach Schmidt. We're about 4 minutes from kickoff, and we're getting ready for the coin flip. Let's talk a little bit about what the Sailors need to do to win here. Start on the defensive side of the ball. We know CGD will be, focused on a run-heavy attack, a little bit similar to maybe a game last week like AP. A lot of ground and pound. What are you looking for out of the Sailor D? Stop that CGD offense.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to have to load the box up a little more on these guys. Similar to AP, even though AP threw more last week than they probably threw, all year. Now, some of that was because they were behind the second half and kind of had to open it up a little bit. You'd love to put Clarion-Goldfield-Dows in the same spot, win that line of scrimmage, but you're going to have to control that number 5. Number 5 is a grown man, and they're going to run. Clarion's going to run behind him. So if you can kind of key on him and fill those holes, you'll be just fine on defense.
Yeah, Meyer and Lingenfelter from we're going to be watching those boys closely from the Cowboy offense there, and obviously something the defense is going to need to step up on the Sailor side. On the other side of the ball, Sailors pride themselves in a very balanced offensive strategy. They actually earned or gained almost identical yardage in the air and on the ground this year. Any specifics on the game plan or what you're looking to see out of the home team on the offensive side of the football?
Well, I know Coach Schmidt well enough that, man, he might have a gadget play or two, but he's going to open it up, man. He's going to make Clarion, he's going to keep him honest. You don't know if he's going to run. You don't know if he's going to pass. Doesn't matter really what down and yardage it is either. Amani needs to have a good game. Amani Robinson, the quarterback, throwing the ball. Obviously, Nolan's one of the good receivers. He needs to make some plays. And third but not last is the running back, Schultz. He needs to keep on trucking.
Absolutely, absolutely. One interesting note and something to watch during the game, CGD has forced a staggering 21 turnovers this year in 8 games. That's almost 3 turnovers per game or takeaways. So Sailors will definitely need to prioritize ball security. But on the other side, the Sailors also have 12 takeaways of their own this year.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat. And Grundy put a knot on our head and their head. They were in the same district. Similar scores. I think Grundy beat them a little bit worse than they beat us. I take that with a grain of salt. But man, I think what you want to say here is whoever wins that turnover battle probably gonna win this game, Marcus.
Looks like the Sailors are going to receive for the first half. CGD will get the ball to start the second half after having won the toss and deferred. So we are minutes away here from kickoff. A couple last notes here. Both teams come in 5-3. CGD is in that tough district with both South Hardin and Grundy Center. They both finished 5-3, and they finished the 3 seed in that district, district number 3 behind Grundy and South Hardin. So kind of one of those situations where this season both teams have come in and have lost to really good teams. They both lost to Grundy.
Yep.
Sailors lost to Beckman early in the season, and South Hardin beat CGD. And then they, on the flip side, really beat up on some of the lower teams in their district. So really, kind of predicting a pretty even matchup here.
I think so, boy. I think this, and a 2-3 should probably be, I think Clarion, if you put them in any other districts, probably a 1 or 2 seed. And possibly, Columbus just plays a little bit better against Hudson. They're a number 1 seed. So I think both these teams are pretty darn good.
I agree. And we're ready for kickoff. And we are underway an hour late here at TJ McLaughlin Field, fielded by Hogendorn. Looking for the corner. That's Sean Monahan, and he is forced out of bounds at the Sailor 23-yard line. Well, they'll take over on their first drive, 1st and 10.
Good deep kickoff by Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. And a pretty good run back by Columbus there to get him set up. It looks like right about the 23-yard line.
Sailors in their all-black uniforms, white helmets, moving right to left on your television screen. Robinson in the shotgun. Drew Schultz in the tailback position. Drops back, looking for the curl. Has Nolan with the complete pass. Good for 4 or 5 yards up the sideline. And he is 1 for 1 on the passing completion percentage, and we'll have 2nd and 3.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do that to each side of the field, you're going to pick these guys apart. You know, it's really maybe a second and a long two, but that's a great first play.
Nice quick hitter to get the Robinson in rhythm with a nice completion. Hand off to Schultz. He wants the outside. Drag down, but that is going to be enough for a Sailor first down on a 4-yard run to the outside by Drew Schultz.
Yeah, good run by Schultz. Got tripped up in the backfield, still kept his balance enough to get that first down. Otherwise, who knows? Who knows how far he goes?
A lot of room out there. Robinson jogs in from the sideline conference with Coach Schmidt for the play. Sailors come out 5 wide. Robinson in the shotgun. 1st and 10, drops back, looking. Goes for the out route off the hands of Spencer Schaefer there. And that falls incomplete to the far side of the field. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Ball was just a little bit high, but boy, hits you in the hands. You still want to catch those, and you sure don't want to tip it up in the air for a possible INT for the Cowboys.
No, good break by that. Getting your hands on it, but drops harmlessly to the turf there. Live to fight for 2nd down and 10 here. Come out in a wing formation. Nolan to the near side. Drew Schultz in the backfield. Hands off to Schultz up the middle. Looking for outside bounce. Maybe fell forward for a half a yard, and we're going to bring up 3rd and long for the Sailors.
Yeah, just not much room for Drew Schultz to run right there. Cowboys did a good job of going right to the ball for a no gain. So, yeah, it's going to be 3rd and long. See what coach draws up for 3rd and 10.
Sailors break the huddle. First 3rd down of the ball game. 2 wide, 2 left. Robinson drops back, looking for a man. Goes to the outside. That's caught by Onhash. Beautiful curl route. And that is complete for 14 yards and good enough for a Sailor first down.
Yeah, great. You hit the nail on the head, Marcus. That was a great route by Hosh. Real good cut. Came back to the ball, and Amani Robinson would put it right on him.
What I love is when a receiver knows enough to run, and as soon as you see that D-back open his hips, you stomp in the ground, you put your foot in the dirt, you break to the outside, and that's a real hard route to cover.
But you also see it on Saturdays and Sundays where a guy won't even go to the sticks, and then he'll have to catch it and gain a yard or two. He went to the sticks to get that first down.
Hand off up the middle to Schultz. He breaks it. He broke a tackle. He's at it's down at the 35. What a run. Didn't run into any contact for the first 10 yards of that play, and the Sailors got something cooking on their first drive of the ball game.
Great run. Hate to be a little bit critical. Almost looked like he ran into that tackler. I think if he takes a step to the outside, maybe he's gone, but boy, nice run by Drew Schultz.
And he hit the hole in a hurry there. He was through the linebacking level before they even turned around. They didn't know what hit him there.
So Sailors right now on a good little run on the 34-yard line of the Cowboys.
1st and 10, trips left. Robinson hands off to Drew Schultz, wants the outside again, does a nice job bouncing off a tackle, falls forward for about a yard. Not much there inside. The first couple handoffs, Drew Schultz has elected to try to bounce it outside to try to find some room.
But once again, if that Cowboy doesn't grab him by the ankles, he's going to have an 8 or 10-yard gain. He just needs to make one more guy miss if we can do it, or get some pads on one more guy, and we can break some of these.
Leading tacklers for the visiting Cowboys are Lingenfelter, Meyer, and Cope, all in that defensive line and linebacker positions. Schultz, handoff up the middle, finds a little bit of room there. Grinding, gets about a yard, and that'll set up 3rd and 8 from the Cowboy 33.
Yeah, you alluded to that Meyer. He is a grown man, like I said, 6'3", and they list him at 240. And he looks like a college player out there, number 5.
Yeah, there's a couple of big boys down there, and Meyer is one of them. And he'll be on the offensive side of the football. He'll be the one doing a lion's share of the running duties as well. So another 3rd down for the Sailors here. They converted on 3rd and 10 earlier in the drive. This one's a 3rd and 8. Robinson looking back, fires. It's batted down, and it is picked off. It is tipped at the line of scrimmage. And that is tipped and caught by the Cowboy linebacker, and that is going to set up 1st and 10 for the Cowboys, and that is a tough break for the Sailors.
Yeah, one of the defensive linemen just got a fingertip on it, changed the trajectory just enough for it to go to a Cowboy instead of a Sailor, and now the Cowboys are looking to go on offense and make some noise.
Boy, that is just a killer. Killer of a drive there. Hands off to Meyer up the middle. Grinding. Yeah, he is a tough kid to bring down. And that's going to be good enough for 4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, there didn't even look like there was much of a hole there. He just kind of kept his legs churning and just pushed through for 4.5 to 5 yards.
Wing formation. Hefty at quarterback. Hands off. Let's get a number on that one. That's going to be Gonzalez for the Cowboys, and that's going to bring up a 1st down. A lot of heavy running attack here by the Cowboys. Sailors will need to play really well in defensive line and linebacking core. Hefty in the shotgun. Handoff. That's Gonzalez again. He's got room, making a man miss, and he weaves his way through traffic there for about 8 yards, and you can see why early in this series, why the Cowboys had over 2,000 yards rushing this season.
Yeah, good blocking schemes, and you've got one real big running back in Meyer, and you got a shifty running back also. So,
yeah, Gonzalez and Meyer both had just about 800 yards apiece this season. Hand off to Meyer this time. He's wrapped up. It's still running. He drags Drew Schultz for about 3 yards, and that's going to be real close to another 1st down here. See where they spot it? Yes, they are going to give him the 1st down, and all of a sudden, the Cowboys are in Sailor territory at the 44-yard line. Great crowd, great weather. We've really lucked out with weather all season long.
Boy,
Beautiful
yes, we have.
crowd.
Yeah.
Hefty in the shotgun. Hands off to Meyer. Looking for another few yards. They're going to have to wrap up. Gets 3 yards, and it is going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust all game long. And Sailors battling in the trenches. You got Rudy Lind. You got Humphrey down there. You got Thomas Faraday. And then at the linebacking crew, we've got in Owen Hosh, Augie Trinan, Parker Stroh, and Drew Schultz. That front 7 is going to get a workout tonight.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get every available body on that on Meyer to bring him down.
Hand off to Gonzalez. Wants to try the outside. That Owen Hosh is getting held. Boy, the receiver was holding Owen Hosh on the outside there. No flag. And that one goes for about 4 yards. Going to be up 3rd and 2. So short yardage, exactly where the Cowboys want to be on 3rd down. I don't think they mind 3rd and 2 at all. And I wonder, you know, the Sailors on defense have gone back and forth between a 3-4 and a 4-4 all year. It'll be interesting to see what they do here, if they make any adjustments, starting out in their 3-4 defense. Double tight end set. Hefty in the shotgun. Hands off up the middle. Falls forward, but he is short. So this is going to bring up 4th and short. That is Colin Sesker on the carry, his first carry, sophomore for the Cowboys. And it's going to bring up 4th and 1 here, and a big play early into the game here for the Sailors.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt they're going for this thing with the push they have with that line and their running backs. Sailors can step up here and get the ball back if they can stop them.
The Sailors do sub in an extra lineman here, so they're going to run in the 4-4 on 4th and short. That's Lucas Clark that came in. Direct snap to Gonzalez, and he breaks through. That's going to be a 1st down and more until he's finally forced out of bounds at the Sailor 15. And that 4th and 1 goes for about 9 yards. And all of a sudden, the Cowboys threatening at about the 24-yard line of the Sailors.
Yeah, when you pack up that many guys in the box, boy, you better stop him. You know, preferably short or a yard or two. Otherwise, that guy's going to ramble for 10, and that's what he did.
The ball's on the ground. The ball's on the ground. And that is Waiting, Sailor football!
Sailors needed something to happen there, and it was self-inflicted by the Cowboys. Obviously, it was a bad snap, and it looked like when he went down to get the ball, it looked like it hit him in the foot and ricocheted back into the line. So I couldn't tell who had the ball.
It's exactly what happened. Is that it was funny because Meyer, the running back, was lined up in the quarterback position. It was going to be another direct snap to the running back, and the snap basically hit him in the ankle. He flicked his foot forward when he went down to try to pick it up, and he kicked it right through his own offensive lineman's legs, right into the hands of the waiting Sailor.
So, of course, we're talking about the turnover battle, and now it's 1-1, so it's even Steven to just see who can persevere here through the rest of the first half.
Here you go. Sailors take over 1st and 10 after the fumble on their own 24-yard line. Robinson in the shotgun, drops back, looking, wants to go deep. It's in the air for Owen High. It's tipped around and falls incomplete. A little underthrown, which has actually worked really well this season with the receiver coming back to the ball and winning the jump ball. That time just couldn't get a hand on it.
Yeah, Hosh almost made a great play there. Just a little underthrown, had a lot of air under it, but you give your receiver a chance to catch it. The thing was, it gave the chance also for the defensive backs to come back in and close in on Hosh.
Exactly right. Hosh almost went up like a basketball rebound and almost tipped it to himself. There was another Cowboy near the play. Thankfully, wasn't able to dive and make the interception. 2nd and 10, Robinson in the shotgun. Drew Schultz, the tailback. Hosh in motion. There's Schultz looking for room. Breaks one tackle. Grinding forward for about 3 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Sailors.
Yeah, that's a doable 3rd down. And you really want to get this 3rd down, keep that offense on the field, and keep churning this time up. Don't want to punt that back to the Cowboys right after you got it back just a minute or two ago.
Well, it's going to be a game of ball control. It's going to be who can run the most plays, who can keep away from the other offense. Robinson in the shotgun on a big 3rd and 6 early in the ball game here. 3:30 left in the first quarter. Drops back, rolls to his right, looking. Throws it, and it falls incomplete. Just can't hang on. He was going for Nolan along the sidelines and couldn't find the handle on it, thrown a little bit behind him, and as he goes to the ground, just can't bring it in. That'll bring up 4th down, and the Sailors look to punt.
Yeah, that's another pass that threw Monty Robinson, threw it on a rope. And you know, Bryce, I've seen him catch those. In the playoff game, need to catch those balls.
That's right. Robinson does the punting duties for the Sailors. Good snap. Gets the kick away. High looping line drive. Bounces about midfield. And looks like that one's going to be down just across midfield at the 49-yard line, where the Cowboys will take over 1st and 10 with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in this first quarter. Clarion-Goldfield-Dows traveled about hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, right. Go up to Highway 3 and you're going to hit Clarion right. Then you'll hit Goldfield right after that. So about
Straight
5
west.
miles away. Yeah.
They come out in their double tight wing formation. Hefty at quarterback in the shotgun. Gonzalez at the tailback. Gonzalez gets the ball, changes direction. Camonte Humphrey almost had him in the backfield, and that one is stuffed for no gain as he tries to smartly run away from Camonte Humphrey and runs right into another couple Sailors at the line of scrimmage.
I don't think Humphrey's going to get a half a tackle on that thing, but he should, because he blew up the whole play.
He has been so fun to watch this season. That entire Sailor defensive line, Fairday, Rudy Lind, we talked about already, Camonte Humphrey, just been really fun to watch. Lots of backfield penetration, several tackles for loss, a lot of big plays stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and they're going to be busy tonight. Hefty at shotgun, Meyer in the backfield. Handoff goes to Meyer, and he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. That's Drew Schultz from the outside linebacker position.
Meyer probably outweighs Schultz by 65 pounds. I don't know how Schultz got him down, but you know what he did? He got him right at the knees and the ankles.
It's the 2-leg takedown.
Yes, sir.
You're a wrestling guy. You like that kind of tackle, right?
I actually like that a lot.
So the Sailors get 2 stops on first and second. It's going to be 3rd and 9.5 here with 1:52 left in the first quarter. Bunch formation, double tight. Hefty takes the ball, and there is a flag, and that is a false start on the Cowboys. That's going to back them up 5. We're going to have 3rd and 15.
That was a couple things interesting there. Obviously, the false start, but I think they were going to pass the ball there. That's what it looked like before they blew it dead. And maybe just the formation or something like that threw them off because they don't throw that much.
Yeah, we may have our first pass attempt here by the Cowboys on 3rd and 15. Parker Stroh subs into the game in the middle linebacker position. 2 wide to the right for the Cowboys. Hefty in the shotgun. Drops back. He's looking to throw. Throws it, and he's got a man open. And that is going to be Lingenfelter, and he is going to be dangerously close to a first down, about a yard short. That's going to set up 4th and 1 and likely 4th and 2 and likely 4-down territory here.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it's a playoff game. You didn't come here to, punt the ball. I think they're confident in their run game. In a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, I think they can pick this up, and it's imperative on the Sailors to stop them right here.
Cowboys come up in a double tight wingback formation. Hefty takes the ball, hands to Gonzalez, and he's got the first down and more. Falls forward for about 4 or 5 yards, and that's going to be a first down on the Sailor 36-yard line. At 3rd and 15, a little bit of a backbreaker there. Then they got it all the way down to 4th and 2.
Yeah, the one pass play they've had, I mean, ran a good pattern, had a good throw, and broke the back a little bit of Columbus right there. But you got to, they got a new set of downs. You got to make something happen on these 4 downs for Columbus.
1st and 10 from the 36. Hefty in the shotgun. Gonzalez in the backfield. Handoff around the end. Nobody home over there. He's just speeding around the end. And boy, we're lucky we strung that out to the sideline. There was no one on the outside there. That goes for an easy 15 yards untouched all the way down to the Sailor 20-yard line. That was Sesker on the end around.
Yep, Columbus lost their contain there, and they rambled again. Clarion did for another first down. And they're just outside the 20-yard line, it looks like.
Hefty in the shotgun, hands off to Meyer, rumbling, powering forward for about 4 yards. That's going to set up a 2nd and 6 down at the Sailor 16-yard line. Well, and when you don't throw the ball and they're not a lot of incompletions, these quarters are going to go quick. That is the end of the first quarter. There's a breakdown on the field. We're going to take a break up in the booth, and we'll be right back with your second quarter action. Second quarter. We are back here at the start of the second quarter. Exciting, maybe not the word I'd use to describe the first quarter, but we did have an interception. We had a fumble recovery and quite a bit of running plays as we kind of expected here, Jeff.
Yeah, right now, it's a game we kind of expected, going to be close. Clarion right now, though, we have not found, as Columbus, I should say, we found a way to stop that run game.
Hefty in the backfield is going to keep it up the middle on the design quarterback run. He's popped after about 3 yards, took a big shot from the Sailor secondary, but still good for 3 yards, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 3 at the Sailor 15-yard line. Down in your red zone, important to get the stop here. Need to get a stop on 3rd and 4th down to turn Clarion away here on their second drive of the ball game. Hefty in the shotgun. Gonzalez takes the direct snap. He's got a little room fighting forward, and that's going to be enough for a first down. That's another 5-yard gain. And Cowboys have something working here, and that's down to the Sailor 8-yard line, 1st and goal.
Yeah, probably going to have to make some sort of adjustment on defense where you're going to have to probably bring one of those DBs back in. Obviously safety can't come in, but you're going to need one more body in there to start filling some of these gaps.
In the past, I have seen the Sailors run a 5, and that's Thomas Faraday is going to have to come out of the ball game. Not what you want to see. It looks like an equipment malfunction on his helmet's buckle. You don't want to lose one of those big guys down on the line here. So 1st and goal from the 8. Hefty keeps the ball, has room around the end, and he is all the way in. I mean, almost untouched for the touchdown. And the Cowboys take the lead 6-0 pending the extra point.
Yeah, that's nothing fancy. I mean, the offensive line's doing a good job, and they've got 2 lead blockers in the halfback and the fullback, and direct snap and just run behind those guys.
Extra point attempt, snap, hold, kick is right into the back of his own lineman. And that one is no good. That is Adkim, the kicker. And honestly, on the stat sheet, they don't kick a lot of extra points. A lot of this season, they've been going for 2 points. I'm surprised they didn't go for a 2-point conversion there.
Yeah, my guess is from now on out, they probably will. But that 1 point may bode huge in the end of the game here.
Always does. So the Sailors going to have to figure some things out on defense. They did switch late in that drive to the 4-4. Be interesting to see if they stay with that or play a little bit around with the linebacker lineup. But early in the game, still there's plenty of time to make adjustments. The Sailors have a very powerful and potent offense. 6 points is not going to bother these boys. They're going to try to get it right back here on their 3rd drive of the game.
Yeah, that kick was a little surprising because at least the guy kicking off, it was the same guy doing the PATs, had a really nice kickoff. And I was watching him during warm-ups, and he looked like he had a pretty good leg.
Nolan and Monahan deep for the Sailors. And the kick is away. End-over-end kick down to the 10-yard line, fielded by Monahan. He's got it at the 20. He's got it at the 25, stumbles forward too. Pretty good return. Good coverage by the Cowboys on that kick, and the Sailors will take over 1st and 10 on the 25, down 6-0 with 10:47 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think Coach Schmidt needs to keep his foot on the pedal here. I think maybe keep passing the ball, maybe even a little more than running the ball. Loosen this defense up a little bit. I think you can get some good chunk plays here with your offense.
Yeah, Coach Schmidt has always been very aggressive, has a ton of great pass routes and route trees in his playbook. I don't think the Sailors are afraid to keep slinging the football tonight and balance it with a good running attack from Drew Schultz. Testing the middle, not much there. Gets stopped for no gain. Set up 2nd and 10 for the Sailors. Robinson comes to the near side to talk about the next play with Coach Schmidt. No, I agree with you. I don't think that first drive or that touchdown from the Cowboys change as much. I think you keep your foot on the gas on offense. You got to take care of the football. We do have one turnover. Clarion gave it right back to us on a fumble, but want to put together a nice 75-yard drive here and put some points on the board. Robinson takes the snap, looking, throws to the outside to Nolan, who has to make a diving catch coming back to the football. That one's really only good for about 3 yards. He had to make the adjustment on a throw to the outside of the field.
Yeah, that's actually a really good catch by Nolan, because that pass was quite a bit behind him. He had to dive backwards to catch it, but hey, positive yardage. So
3rd and 7 from their own 28. Need to sustain some first downs. Keep that Cowboy offense on the sideline. Robinson in the shotgun. Drops back, looking for a man. It tipped again at the line of scrimmage. That is the second pass that has been tipped at the line of scrimmage. Cowboys doing a good job of closing out those passing lanes, and that's going to bring up 4th and 7, and the Sailors will be forced to punt on their own 29 or 28-yard line.
Yeah, so two linemen have tipped passes now of Robinson's passes, obviously, and they've been drive killers right now.
Oh, and Robinson, big, tall kid. I mean, he stands at least 6'3". Typically, that has not been an issue this season. Gets the punt away, end-over-end kick, bounces at the 42, takes a Sailor hop down to the 35-yard line, and it's downed by the Sailors. Good punt by Robinson. Shift field position at least a little bit, and the Cowboys will take over 1st and 10 on their own 36. So Sailors' first 3 drives, struggling to get a little bit going here. They threw a pick on a tipped pass in their first drive and then forced 2 punts in a row. Cowboys are on their 3rd drive here. They fumbled on their first drive and then found pay dirt on a 51-yard drive, tapped off by an 8-yard run by the quarterback, Hefty. Hefty drops back, then he hands off to Meyer, who's got a ton of room. And boy, we're lucky that Nolan got caught up in his cleats there and brought him to the ground, or he was going to the house.
There's no doubt about it. And that you need to stand him up close to the line of scrimmage. And one guy, Drew Schultz did it earlier, got him at the ankles. One guy's not going to bring him down.
Yeah, you're going to have to go real low on the cleats on that Meyer. He is a big, strong kid, and if he gets ahead of steam, there's not anybody that's going to bring him down. So 1st and 10 on the Sailor 46. We got a whistle down on the field. Oh, boy, another helmet malfunction for Thomas Faraday. Another equipment malfunction, and the referee has him off the field because you're not allowed to play without your helmet buckled for obvious reasons. So 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle there. That's going to be Sesker. Runs forward for about 9 yards. And Sailors really struggling to get anything figured out on how to stop this rushing attack from CGD Cowboys.
Yeah, nothing real fancy, but man, Cowboys pin their ears back and they come right at you.
Wing formation, handoff to Gonzalez. Weaving his way, making tacklers miss, and that's another 7-yard gain. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. And all of a sudden, just like that, Cowboys are at 1st and 10 on the Sailor 29-yard line.
Yeah, this could be a big series right here, this next 10 yards. You do not want to fall behind 2 scores, but at some point you need to stop this run attack or slow them down a little bit.
Faraday back in at lineman, which is a good sign for the Sailors. Running a 4-4 defense. They've got 9 guys in the box. And that one still goes forward for still pushing the pile, and that's good enough for 7 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 3. The Sailors quite literally had 10 guys in the box, and it still goes for 6 yards up the middle.
Yeah, and that's maybe what you have to do. I don't know if you do that every down, but you might have to do that to stop them. Now, the problem is they get by that first line of attack, boy, and it's high risk, high reward.
And sets you up for maybe a play action or something like that where you're not ready for it. Again, 10, 11 guys in the box here. Double tight wing formation for the Cowboys. Hands off to Gonzalez. They get in the backfield, but he slips a tackle. And he's still going, and that's another 10-yard gain. And the Cowboys have the Sailors on their heels, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Sailor 12-yard line.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter who you give it to. Gonzalez, Meyer, Susker's had a couple carries. All those guys run real hard.
Hefty's kept it. You can see why they've had over 2,000 yards rushing as a team this season in 8 games. Hefty in the shotgun, 1st and 10 from the Sailor 13. There's a whistle, and I don't know if that was a defensive came into the neutral zone or if that's a false start. That is going to be a false start. So the Sailors catch a break and get 5 yards back. It's going to be 1st and 15 on the 18-yard line here. The Sailors searching for an answer on how to stop this powerful running attack from the Cowboys. 1st and 15. 6:55 left in this second quarter. Cowboys hand off to Meyer. Boy, he breaks 3-4 tackles and still dragging guys. That's a 12-yard gain. And that's going to set up a 2nd and 3. And they make up all that penalty yardage and more. Looks like maybe 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and really, you kind of understand why they don't need to pass the ball when they can run like this.
Absolutely.
It's a freight train going downhill right now.
6-0. The Cowboys trying to add to their lead here. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Hand around the end to Seska. That's the same play they scored on or had at least a couple times, and that's just too easy. I mean, nobody there. You got 10 guys in the box, and you get one seal block on that outside, and he just walked. He might as well walked into the end zone.
Yeah, so the Cowboys flexing their running game muscle right here. And, Sailors are going to have to get an answer to that, or it's going to be a long night.
So back-to-back touchdown drives all on the ground from the Clarion Cowboys. The first one of 51 yards, that one of about 65 yards. They go for 2 on that extra point conversion. That drops. Can't bring it in and drops incomplete. So thankfully the score only 12-0, but boy, Sailors going to have to do some soul searching on defense and try to get this offense going too.
Yeah, a little bit of a curious call. I mean, Sailors haven't stopped it's a 2.5-yard run for a 2-point conversion. They go ahead and roll out and drop the ball. So a little bit of a break for the Sailors, played that well. But you're right. You're either going to have to try to outscore these guys, you're going to have to try to stop them, or a little bit of both. And right now, that offense now has to. They need to put points on the board with 6 minutes left in the half.
Well, and really, what you got to do is you got to sustain a drive. I mean, 12 points. Sailors can score. I'm not concerned about that, but you can't score when you're going 3 and out. You got to get some first downs, get some momentum, get some positive energy down there. Still plenty of time left. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. But you got to keep your defense off the field for a stretch here and control the football for a while. Noland and Monahan back deep to receive. It's going to be Akdim kicking off for the Cowboys. Kick is away, end over end. Monahan looks to field it. No, that's Nolan. Steps up, takes it. He's out to the 25. Good move. Makes the man miss, dragging another tackler down to the 31-yard line. And the Sailors take the ball over. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Down 12-0, looking to close this gap.
Good hard kickoff return by Bryce Nolan there. Got the Sailors out past the 30, so got them in good shape field position-wise. Now we just have to execute some plays.
I will say the Sailor program has been in this position before. 2 years ago when they made their semifinal run to the Dome in the, I think the round of 8, they were at South Hamilton, who had a very similar tough running attack.
Right.
They went down 16-0. Little end around, trickery to Nolan. He's got some room, busted up field. Meets a tackler at about 7-yard gain. Nice play. And he'll set up a 2nd and 3. But that South Hamilton game, they came down and scored in, I think, maybe the first 4 minutes of the game.
Right.
They were up 16-0, and I don't think they scored the rest of the game. I think that score ended up about 24-16, if I remember right, and they just made adjustments and stopped the run. Looking for a similar outcome here tonight. 2nd and 3. Ball on the 38-yard line. 5:20 left in the second quarter. He's got a man deep in Hash, and it's just overthrown. The first deep attempt tonight was hung up a little bit underthrown, and that one was a little bit on a line and a rope, and that just a step past where Hash could bring it in.
Yeah, and that's 6 points right there. If you can put a little more air into that one, and you're right, the last one a little too much air, and Amani just fine-tuned that arm just a little bit here, and that would have been a big gain.
Yeah, Hash had his man beat by about 2 steps there, all alone at the 40-yard line, and just didn't have enough to go up and get that one. Robinson the shotgun, 3rd and 3. Drew Schultz the tailback, drops back, wants the hitch route.
Oh,
There's some early contact with no flag, but Nolan brings it down in traffic for a complete pass. That's about a 20-yard gain. Well, he was getting hung all over on his back, and he still makes the catch for the first down.
Yeah, I don't know if he ends up dropping that if he pulls the hanky out then, but he definitely got hit. And if you've never been hit right before you catch the ball, that jars your whole body. That's great concentration by Nolan right there.
Great catch. He's had fantastic hands all season long. Really made some phenomenal catches. The junior wide receiver. Sailors come to the line, 1st and 10, cross midfield. Robinson takes the snap, drops back, looking, wants to go deep again. He's got Hash. Oh, no.
Well, we just alluded to it about 4 plays ago. If Amani hits him in stride, and he does, they could probably score on that, and they did. And I think you keep dialing it up. I don't think those defensive backs from Clarion can guard the wide receivers from Columbus, but you got to throw it and pitch it and catch it.
Hash had his man beat on almost every play tonight. They make the connection on the 3rd attempt deep. Nolan for the extra point. Snap, kick, up, and no good. That one sails wide right on the extra point. So extra points are a struggle for both teams tonight. We have a 6-12 ball game here, but the Sailors needed that drive to strike back on the Cowboys. And it'll come down to the defense, see if we can get the ball back here before halftime.
Have to stop that running game.
Well, and this comes into the situation where you got the ball to start the game, so that means the Cowboys are going to receive to start the 3rd quarter, and that that with their running attack, they're going to try to hold on to this ball for this entire 4 minutes and 37 seconds, try to come away with points, and almost get a 2-for-1 when they get the ball back in the 3rd quarter.
Absolutely.
So really a critical drive on defense here for the Sailors. So the Sailors strike back with a 70-yard drive of their own, capped off by a 48-yard strike from Robinson to Hash. As you mentioned, they didn't get connected on two throws earlier in the game. One a little underthrown, one a little overthrown. But that last one was a dime right on the hands, hit Hash in stride. And the Cowboy cornerback really has no chance. He wasn't even in the picture.
But I think the Columbus receivers, at least 4 plays I can think of right now, have clearly beaten the Cowboy DBs and just hadn't, either the pass underthrown or overthrown or dropped. That's the ticket right there.
Well, that, and if they have to make adjustments and bring in another DB or play zone with a man over top or something like that, now you will open up some of those running lanes.
Right.
Nolan with a little pop kick down the sideline. That's a live ball. And he does fall on it before the Sailors. Owen Hash almost beat him to the ball. And those are dangerous kicks. The Sailors have run that a lot. The up back really should field that, and he ran away from it looking for someone to block.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably haven't seen a lot of that. Columbus does a lot, so it's on tape if they've watched tape. But that was almost a perfect kick there. If that's 2 yards less, that's Columbus ball.
Yeah, Owen Hosh almost beats the deep back to that football along the sideline, but regardless, the Cowboys take over 1st and 10 on the 24. Double tight wing formation. Hefty takes the ball. He wants to run, and he does. It's like he's got about, man, he's still going, and he rumbles all the way forward for 9 yards. But the Sailors really need to stiffen up and start driving that pile the other way.
Yeah, and it's not that they're not getting they're getting hats to it, but the problem is he's just out driving guys.
Yeah.
Every back, could be the quarterback or the tailback or the fullback. Their legs are churning, and Columbus guys are holding on for dear life.
Hefty in the backfield, hands off to Gonzalez around the end. He's got Meyer out there lead blocking for him, clearing guys out of the way, and that one's about a 30-yard gain. And just like that, in 2 plays, the Cowboys take it from their 25-yard line all the way to the Sailor 40-yard line, where it'll set up a 1st and 10 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Yeah, those plays to the outside are really hurting the Sailor defense right now. Meyer, he stumbles forward for 5 yards. And that's going to be 2nd and 5. And I don't know that the Sailors could bring more guys in the box than they have already. They've got all 10 guys in the box with Robinson at the safety position. Everyone else is up in the box. There's a whistle there, and it looks like the Sailors are going to call a timeout here with 3:25 left in the second quarter. There's a breakdown on the field. We're going to take a break in the booth, and we'll be right back. We are back from the timeout. 2nd and 5, 3:25 left in the second quarter. Cowboys in their bunch formation, direct snap to Gonzalez, and he's running, chasing him down, and that's another 20-yard gain by the Cowboys. And Sailors really, really struggling to get any stops here on defense as the Cowboys continue to grind the ball on the ground.
I mean, you hear this all the time, but it looks like Clarion-Goldfield-Dows is running downhill. They've got that much momentum going, and they're getting good blocks, their offensive line on our defensive line. And even the linebackers are getting exposed a little bit here, too, by the lead blockers.
I mean, there is just zero penetration into the backfield. Our D-line is getting driven back 2 and 3 yards on every single play. Linebackers are having a hard time picking up who's got the ball and which hole they're going towards. And just like that, the Cowboys have the ball 1st and 10 from the Sailor 11-yard line, looking to add to their 12-6 lead.
And you can't really key on anybody because Meyer can bust it right up the gut on you, and then Gonzalez can go around the corner.
Hefty hands off to Meyer up the middle, rushes forward for about 5. And that's going to set up 2nd and 4 from the 5-yard line. The Cowboys can get a first down if they get it inside the 1. And this is, I think, what we're going to see pretty much all night here on the offensive side of the football for the CGD Cowboys. Clock ticking down, 2:23 left in the half. Cowboys will get the ball to start the third quarter. Sailors really trying to keep him out of the end zone here. 2nd and 5. Double tight set, wing back. Hefty hands off to Gonzalez. He just dancing and has room, and he's all the way in for the touchdown. Another easy drive that just running it right down the field, Jeff.
Yeah, they're not even going to think about passing this ball ever again. I don't think. I'm sure they're going to go for 2 again here, but I would think they're getting anywhere from 7, 8, 9 yards a carry, averaging.
Yeah, just like that, 3 touchdown drives in a row of 50 yards, 65 yards, and 70 yards. And the Sailors are going to have to figure out that defensive side of the football. Gonzalez takes the 2-point conversion try in, and it is good. Another simple handoff up the middle, and that's going to bring a Sailors down 20-6. 2 minutes left in the half, and we'll be right back. We are back at TJ McLaughlin Field in Waterloo, Iowa. The Columbus Catholic Sailors down 20-6 with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. It has been a story of all ground attack by the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows Cowboys. Sailors looking for a way to stop it, but they do have a potent offense. They're going to have to outscore them, obviously, here if they want to get away with the W. And no better time like the present than 2 minutes left before half. Acton kicks end over end. Monahan takes and fumbles it. Now he picks it up at the 20, looking for room.
Oh, face mask.
It looked like a face mask. Boy, ref did not see it standing right there. And a face mask goes uncalled. And the Sailors will take over 1st and 10 from their 22-yard line.
Yeah, referees missed that one, but obviously they're not going to be perfect either. But imperative that Columbus scores on this drive. Imperative. And you sure as heck can't throw it 3 times, go 4 and out, and give them back the ball.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, so you got to be mindful of the clock. But the Sailors, you have plenty of time to score here. They have a very quick strike offense. They've already thrown a 50-yard bomb for a touchdown on their last drive. And here we go, 1st and 10. They come out 4 wide, 2 right and 2 left. Robinson in the shotgun, drops back, looking for man, rolls, looking, smartly throws it away. Nobody open down the field, and not a bad play. I mean, you don't want to go three incompletions in a row like you said, but a good decision there as an entire Sailor receiving corps was covered.
Yeah, he was going to take a sack. 2 or 3 Cowboys were honing in on Amani Robinson. You just have to live to fight another day there and throw it out of bounds. Good decision.
Generally pretty good protection so far by that offensive line. A lot of those guys playing both ways. You got Trinan at the center position, Lucas Clark and Camonte Humphrey in the guards, and Rudy Lind and Thomas Faraday at the tackle position. Robinson rolling to his left, throwing, and that one's a little short and skips at the feet of Spencer Schaefer. And hopefully you didn't have some Nostradamus prediction over here.
Yeah.
Three incompletions. We'll bring up 3rd and 10 and see if we can break the streak here and get ourselves a 1st down.
Yeah, that's obviously you want to get a score here, but I guess goal B right behind that, you got to get a 1st down. Cannot give that back to them with short time left, and you haven't showed that you could stop that run game yet. So
no, that would be a very dangerous situation to be punting this ball back and giving them a minute and a half to score. 3 receivers set. Robinson rolling to his left again. Good protection. Throws out there complete to Owen Hosh. Nice pitch and catch there for a 12-yard gain. Hosh had 2 steps on his man and makes the sliding catch for the Sailor 1st down.
Yeah, good throw. Even a better catch by Hosh. Had to adjust a little bit, go down and get it. But the main thing there is, he didn't go to the sticks. He went beyond the sticks. And if you just catch it, even if you get down, you got your 1st down.
Minute 23 left in the half. Sailors have 2 timeouts. Ball on their own 34-yard line. And the Sailor moved. We had a false start. Bryce Nolan flinched down at the wide receiver position, and the line judge having it right in front of him, and it was an easy call for him. 1st and 15, not the end of the world, stops the clock. So it's not the end of the world. There's a minute 14 left now, the stop clock. And, I think on the offensive penalty, they actually run the clock now, stopped it momentarily. The 1st and 15 on the 29-yard line. 3 wide, rolls to his right. Cowboys chasing, and that is broken up. Pass broken up by Sesker along the sideline. Robinson wanted Owen Hosh and just couldn't quite thread the needle. 55 seconds left in the half. Sailors down 20-6. The Cowboys have taken their last 3 drives to pay dirt with basically all running plays going 50, 65, and 70 yards on their last 3 drives. Sailors also scored on their last drive on a 50-yard strike to Owen Hosh. 4 wide. Robinson drops back. Wants to go deep again. Going for Nolan. He's got it. He just gets tripped up, and what a catch. And that's down to the Cowboy 25-yard line.
Yeah, like I said before, I don't think those DBs, as long as Amani Robinson's got enough time to throw that deep route between Hosh and Nolan, they're going to catch the ball if you get it to them.
Great protection by that offensive line. And Nolan makes a great catch over top of the D-back. I mean, these guys, we have some really tall, athletic receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They are beating their man down the field almost every single play.
So then you got to protect your quarterback, and then quarterback's got to put it out there so the receivers can make a play. But they can, as you can see, they're doing some damage through the pass game.
Sailors called their second timeout. They have 1 remaining, 48 seconds left in the half. Clarion will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter after halftime. And the Sailors looking to close this gap and narrow the lead here at the end of the 2nd quarter. Sailors come out of the timeout. 3 receivers to the right, no one to the left. Robinson drops back. Everyone's covered. Robinson wisely throws that ball away. And interesting, on the right side of the field in this zone, only people in the pattern were 3 receivers to the right. And I think Clarion had about 6 D-backs on our 3 receivers.
Yeah, they're dropping, especially for at least this series, they're starting to drop a few more guys. So I mean, if you had the time and you had the timeout, you could actually probably run right now, but you just don't have the time or opportunity to do it. 45 seconds left.
Yeah, only can stop the clock only 1 more time with the solo timeout. Now they come out a little more balanced where they have 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. 7 D-backs in the game for Clarion. Good protection. Robinson rolling right, looking for it. Now he's going to run it. Has a little room around the sideline, but he just ran out of room. And that one really, maybe he loses a yard on that one. Just couldn't quite stay in bound and turn it upfield. So 3rd and call it 12 from the the Cowboy 28-yard line. 36 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. 7 D-backs in the game in coverage for the Cowboys, trying to keep the Sailors out of the end zone. 4 receivers in the game, and they slipped through that. They set up the screen, and that one did not look good. It was not well blocked, and the Clarion stuffs that one, and that's going to have 25 seconds left in the game. The Sailors are going to call their last timeout and have the ball about 4th and call it 17 here.
Yeah, that was actually, I like that play call, which just was not executed. You did not, I saw they missed 2 blocks right away. And I think that was Gonzalez come flying up and made that tackle. So Yeah, another huge loss and fourth down. Well, you go for the whole shooting match right here with only a few seconds left.
No timeouts left. 25 seconds left on the clock in the second quarter. Looking to, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't line up 3 guys on the goal line or some type of prevent defense here. Sailors can get a first down at about the 15-yard line. In high school football, the clock would stop, so it would give you enough time to get up there and spike the ball and stop the clock if you are able to complete the ball for the first down. But you're going to be, I mean, they've got 6-7 D-backs in the game, all given about a 10, 15-yard cushion. Robinson drops back, looking downfield, lets it roll. He's kind of pressured or hit as he throws, and that one doesn't really get near the vicinity of a Sailor, and they're going to turn the ball over on downs with 20 seconds left in the second quarter.
Yeah, Joe Meyer put a ton of pressure on Amani Robinson, and he has about the last 2 or 3 passes. So you're going to have to double team him on that left defensive end spot.
Yeah, Meyer, the stat sheet here says 31 tackles, 7.5 sacks on the season. So he definitely gets in that backfield on the regular basis. Looks like they're going to come out and just kneel the ball here with 20 seconds left, and they do. So that's going to do it for our first half. The Cowboys lead the hometown Sailors 20-6 here in Waterloo, Iowa, TJ McLaughlin Field. We will take about a 15 to 20 minute break, and we will be back with all your second half action. Welcome back to Waterloo, Iowa, TJ McLaughlin Field at Columbus Catholic High School. So, Jeff, about 3 minutes here from second half kickoff. Really, the story of the game, as we talked about all first half, is that Cowboy running attack. Sailors making it interesting. Had one quick strike. Really going to be about this defensive line, the linebacking crew, to see what we can do to stop the running game.
Well, 100%. If you don't, you're not going to outscore them now, right? I mean, if you can get it back to even and make it a shootout then, but you're going to have to stop at least 2 drives, and maybe it's self-inflicted, maybe it's an interception. Doubt it because they don't pass much. And the way they're running, why would they pass it? That's a potent offensive line. And man, they got some great lead blockers coming out of the backfield. And then the running backs, man, they run hard, every one of them. So you're going to have to get some penetration. You're going to have to challenge your defensive line and your linebackers. They're going to have to make some plays.
They really do. They really run hard. I want to give a shout out. Obviously, some early evening dramatics with the blown transformer. We've obviously started, as most people at home know, we started an hour late with our coverage and the kickoff due to a power outage. Big shout out and thank you to the crew from Mid-American Energy that came out. Our athletic director, Julie, acted quickly, swiftly, decisively, and thankfully got the power back on here to start 8 o'clock. Another twist on this evening is our normal, wonderful producer, Brandon Bolin from B2 Productions, is on a well-deserved weekend away with his sweetheart. So we made a call to Chris Shipley from Three Beards Media, and he has just done an awesome job. He's got up here. We came up early this afternoon to make sure all the live stream equipment worked. And honest to you folks at home, this broadcast would not be happening. You would not be able to enjoy the game at home without Chris Shipley from Three Beards Media. So what I want you all to do is get on YouTube this weekend and search for Three Beards Media. That's Three Beards Media. He's got 9 or 10 different podcasts that they run weekly from that YouTube channel, and it's all sorts of great stuff. They got a series called Old Man Strength. That's a bunch of cool interviews with people. They got a comedy show on there weekly. It's a really great channel. So if you get a chance to check out Three Beards Media, please make sure you do so, because Chris Shipley came up and saved the day and got us going on the live stream today.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. If the Sailors don't play a little better in this third and fourth quarter, I'm going to put on that comedy channel and and watch that for the end of the night.
That's right. Absolutely. Few minutes from second half kickoff. Sailors coming out to stretch. Spent quite a bit of time in the locker room, I'm sure, talking about their defensive strategy.
Playoff score updates.
And we're going to take a quick break here by kickoff in about 2.5 minutes. We'll be back with your second half action. We are just about a minute away from the second half kickoff. The Cowboys from Clarion, they won the toss in the first half, deferred to the second half, so they have a 26 lead, and they will be getting the ball. Sailors really need to come out on defense, and when you're playing for your season, it's time. You got to step up. You still got to play within yourself. You can't try to do too much, but you got to own that 2 or 3 square yards around you, and really what it was, that defensive line, I didn't see the firing off the ball and pushing anybody back like I've seen all season.
Yeah, it almost looked like stood straight up out of their 3-point stances or 4-point stances, whatever they were in. Clarion-Goldfield offensive line just pushing them off the ball, and then even the linebackers were getting pushed off the ball.
Kickoff covered at the 37-yard line, pooch kick. And that's where Clarion will take over 1st and 10. You know, with that running attack, too, you only get so many possessions against a team like that if you don't get them off the field. The Cowboys had only 4 drives in that whole first half, and they scored on 3 of them. The Sailors only had 5 drives in the first half. We've broadcast games where you've had 10 drives in the first half. Same formation, double tight, wing back, pitch out wide to Gonzalez. He has a little bit of room, but that is stopped. That's a good sign for the Sailors. Stopped for a 1-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, nice job by the Sailors. They're stringing that out. Like I said before, the Cowboys were beating up inside and outside, so it was good to just give just a couple yards on that play.
2nd and 9. Clarion in their all-white uniforms, black helmets, moving right to left on your television screen. Sailors in their all black and white helmets on the defensive side of the football to start the third quarter. Snap and handoff to Sesker, looking for room, weaving his way for about a 4-yard gain. That's going to set up 3rd and 3 at the 45-yard line. A little bit better. It looks like the Sailors have gone back to a 3-4 defense. And, maybe that 4-man 4 front wasn't working. Maybe there was just a little too much traffic, not enough room to move. You bring up that linebacker in the 5th position, and you're shooting a gap now, and you're coming in clean. Hefty hands off to Sesker, same play, and he rumbles forward for about 4, and that's going to be good enough for a first down. And the Cowboys driving again out to midfield on their first drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, once again, nothing fancy, just methodical, running the ball, and held them to 7 yards in the first 2, but then gave up another 5 or 6 for that first down right there.
And they're happy getting 3 or 4 yards every single play. They'll do it all night. They've done it all season. Hefty in the backfield, hands off to Meyer this time. Tough to bring down. They're looking to strip the ball, which I like that. But those tackles up on the shoulders and on the waist are not going to bring like a kid like that down. You've got to be down at the knees or lower and even down to the ankles.
Yeah, the problem with that is, you got to stop him, and then the next guy coming in and get the ball. If the first guy tries to get that ball, he's too powerful. He's going to run through that arm tackle.
6'3", 240. I mean, that's like Derrick Henry type size. It's just a beast of a high school athlete. Hefty keeper on the quarterback. He's got Meyer out front blocking. Stopped for about a yard. That's going to be 3rd and inches at the Sailor, just about 40-yard line. Sailors need a tackle for loss or something to drive back, a turnover, a fumble, a penalty, something to get the stop here on defense so that they can get the ball back and close this gap. 9 minutes already coming up on the clock in the third quarter. Hefty, shotgun, Gonzalez in the backfield, handoff to Gonzalez. He's got the first down, got about a 3-yard gain, and that'll be 1st and 10 on the Sailor 36-yard line.
And they just keep Clarion-Goldfield-Dows just keeps moving those chains.
I mean, the other thing it does, Jeff, on a slow, methodical drive like this, I mean, a great crowd here for Columbus, but they just have very little to cheer about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about as quiet as I've heard this stadium all season long.
Yeah, Columbus has to make a play, get the crowd back into it, get a little momentum on their side.
Handoff again to Meyer. Powers forward for about 7 yards, 8 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 2
That's a pretty good cut for a guy that weighs 235. Planted his foot left, went a hard right, went right by a couple guys, and then bowled over about 2 more.
Wow, big, strong kid. Sailors having a tough time bringing him to the ground. You can see why he had almost, I think he had a little over 800 yards rushing, and his teammate Gonzalez had 780 yards. Yeah. So 1,500 yards between the two running backs. 2nd and 2. Double tight wingback formation. Sesker in motion, gets the end around handoff. Hogendorn trying to trip him up. And a good open field tackle by Amani Robinson from the safety position. But that's another Cowboy first down. They've got a 1st and 10 on the 22-yard line of the Sailors. Already under 8 minutes to go. This drive has taken up over 4 minutes already in the 3rd quarter. Like I said, the Sailors will be lucky to get 4, maybe 5 drives in this second half if they can't get the running attack of the Cowboys off this field. 1st and 10 from the 22. Cowboys looking to add to a 20-6 lead. Gonzalez gets the inside handoff. Runs into some traffic there and is stopped for a 2-yard gain. Drew Schultz, among others, in on the tackle for the Sailors. And it gets to the point you start to worry about your line a little bit because everyone on that Sailor defense just about plays Ironman football. They're playing both ways on offense and defense. Rudy Lynn, Camonte Humphrey, Thomas Faraday, Parker Stroh. These guys don't come off the field.
Yeah, they don't. But look at even at the Cowboys. I think they have a lot of guys going both ways also. So at some point, and there's a ball on the ground, but quarterback picks it up.
Gonzalez running, shifty, very shifty. And that's a 15-yard gain. He's all the way down to the Sailor 5-yard line. And the Sailors just cannot get anything going on defense to get in the backfield and get a tackle. So 1st and goal from the 5. 6.5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter, and the Cowboys looking to add to a 20-6 lead. Meyer now in the shotgun formation takes the direct snap, and he rumbles forward, and that's a touchdown. Touchdown Cowboys, 26-6 with 6:24 left in the 3rd quarter. And that drive is, it's a near backbreaker there, now up 3 scores on the Sailors tonight in the first round of the 2025 high school football playoffs. They will come out and try to kick the extra point. They've struggled with this tonight and really all season. Snap, hold, kick. He does squeak this one through. So that's a 27-6 lead with 6:24 left in your 3rd quarter. Sailors down 21, looking to get something back on offense, and we'll be right back. We are back in Waterloo, Iowa. Marcus Chelson alongside Jeff Bradley. First round of the playoffs here. Sailors find themselves in a 21-point hole with 6.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Jeff, really got to get something going on offense on this drive. You're not going to get many chances against that running attack.
Yeah, almost if you don't score here with just 6 minutes left, boy, your back's really up against the wall. They're going to keep running the ball, and you haven't proved that you could stop them yet. Plus, it's going to just eat up chunks of time off the clock.
End over end kick to Bryce Nolan. Fields at the 18-yard line, looking for some room along the right side. Finds a little gap along the sideline. He's forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line. 32, excuse me. And the Sailors will take over 1st and 10. Once again, I'd like to thank Chris Shipley from Three Beards Media. Made the trip up from Des Moines this afternoon to help us out on broadcasting and producing the live stream. Big shout out to our boy Brandon with B2 Productions. A lot of help in the setup and getting everything going here tonight on Friday Night Football. The Sailors, 1st and 10. Robinson in the shotgun. Takes a snap, handoff to Drew Schultz. Has a little bit of room, has a lead blocker. Fighting, gets about 5 yards. play whistle dead on the forward progress.
Yeah, good hard run by Drew Schultz there. Got a good 5 or 6 yard gain. Offensive line put some hats on some guys. That's what you need. The issue now is being down 3 scores. Boy, you can't run too many plays unless they go to the house.
Sailors, Twins left. Drew Schultz in the tailback, gets the handoff off tackle, has some room, makes a man miss, drags another guy forward, and that's going to be a 10-yard gain and a Sailor first down. Sailors getting a little rhythm here, little rhythm on offense. Robinson jogging back to the huddle. 5:30 left in the third quarter. Ball at the 48-yard line. Schaefer and Nolan to the near side in the wideout position. Another run to Drew Schultz up the middle, fights forward for maybe a yard. And that'll bring up 2nd and 9 at midfield.
Yeah, and at some point, you're either going to need to start throwing this ball and getting some chunk yardage or run a little more of a hurry-up offense.
Yeah, I like that we're not panicking, but I do agree that, I mean, it's really going to come down to whether you can stop them and get them off the field because they are going to milk a lot of clock. I don't think they've had a drive under 4 or 5 minutes this entire game, except maybe that first drive of the game was a fumble. Robinson drops back, looking to throw, and that is picked. The Sesker stepped right, no, that's 22. He stepped right in front of the pass. I mean, Robinson stared down the receiver, and it was a telegraph throw, and Paxton Lingenfelter at the corner position just stepped right in front of it and took it all the way down to the 10-yard line before the Sailors were able to trip him up.
Yeah, it looked like Amani Robinson was just eyeballing that receiver the whole time, and boy, that Clarion Cowboy had his eyes in the backfield on Amani and just read him and got a good jump on the ball.
And now you have to stop him here. You got to either get a takeaway or just stop him on 4 plays because you get out on 4 scorers with 4 minutes left in the third quarter, and that's going to be it. A little bit of a broken play. He decides to keep it. No, that actually was a handoff to Gonzalez. Boy, that fooled everybody, including me, where I thought Hefty still had the ball, and he handed off to Gonzalez, who takes it all the way down to the 1-yard line, 2nd and goal. 4:20 left in the third quarter. Cowboys up 27-6 on the Sailors. And this is going to be really difficult if the Cowboys punch this one in for the Sailors to come back and win this playoff football game. Hefty under center. Just a simple handoff up the middle. Boy, they had him stopped in the backyard. They had him stopped for a 2-yard loss in the backfield, and he still drags about 3 Sailors across the goal line. And that's going to put them up 33-6 with the PAT pending. So the Sailors in big trouble here. Cowboys in complete control of this football game with 4 minutes left in the third quarter, and that kick is up and good. 34-6, Sailors down. And they'll be getting the kickoff back in just a minute. We'll be right back. Kickoff, line drive. Monahan picks it up at the 15. Looking for some room around the edge. Makes a man miss. Makes a nice move back to the inside. Gets it about to the 28, 29-yard line. The Sailors will take over Down 34-6 with 3:53 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, what looked like, I think by everybody's prognosis was going to be a close game. Clarion took the bull by the horns here.
They really did. I mean, hats off to that running attack and that offensive line. So still time, but you're going to have to score quick and you're going to have to score often. As the Sailors come out, 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. 4 wide. Drew Schultz is tailback. Robinson hands off to Schultz up the middle. Grinding forward for about 3 yards. Out to about the 34-yard line. Even if you can't come back in this ball game, you still want to put points on the board. You still want to give your seniors, their due credit. They've really played a tough season. I mean, they could have folded early in this football season. They started out with 2 tough, big losses to Beckman and Grundy, but really fought back. And they went 4-1 in the last 5 games. Robinson with a nice keeper and gets a 10-yard gain out there for a first down. But really, they could have folded. I mean, these kids only won 1 game last season. They went 1-7 because they were very young, had a lot of freshmen and sophomores starting. You come out and you go 1-7, then the first 2 games of this year, you go 0-2. And all of a sudden that doubt starts creeping in, all those things, your young kids. But boy, did they stay the course and finish the season 5-1 to make the playoffs in the 2 seed in a tough District 4.
Yeah, and I thought the key win of the whole year was Lisbon. It was a tough, gritty win on the road, and you got I say a lot of things in wrestling terms. They got their hand raised. They learned how to win again, and then you're right. They only lost 1 game the rest of the year, and boy, if you played that again and had a few less mistakes, then you're the number 1 seed. But that doesn't take anything away from these guys or Clarion-Goldfield-Dows because they are dominating this game. Let's just be straight up and be honest about it.
Well, it's going to be interesting, if Clarion holds on to this win, which it looks, they're down up 28 points, which looks like they will. Even though there's a lot of football left tonight, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't knock off somebody next week. I mean, that running attack is tough.
They're going to be in against a 1 seed from this week.
Yep.
I think right away, but just depends on who the 1 seed is.
Robinson's pass complete to Owen Hosh along the sideline. Makes the grab, about a 20-yard gain down to the 40. And the Sailors are saying, hey, not so fast. Yep. Do not put us to bed this early. We will not go quietly into that dark night. We're going to fight all the way to the final whistle, and I love it.
And there's no other option. You keep playing football, a sport most of these guys have been playing since they're little kids, and you love to play, and you just got to try to make a few plays. You never know what's going to happen. Right now it looks a little bleak, but you keep fighting.
1st and 10 from the Cowboy 40-yard line. 3 receiver set. Robinson in the shotgun. Hands off to Drew Schultz, who bounces it outside. Got a little bit of room. That looked like a face mask. There's a flag on the play. It looked like he got his back of his helmet grabbed, and we do have a Sailor down. See what the call is here. Boy, I mean, he grabs his face mask, but we get called for holding. How does that work, Jeff?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that flag come out, and I thought that was for sure either a horse collar or a face mask, just from what Drew Schultz's body did. But nonetheless, I'm not calling it, and we are backing up at least 10 yards here from that spot.
So a 10-yard holding call on the penalty on first down will bring up 1st and 20. Right at the 50-yard line as the Sailors looking to try to get something going here, down 28 with a minute left in this third quarter. Robinson in the shotgun, Drew Schultz, the tailback position. Handoff to Schultz, has a little bit of room, finds a seam, gets a 5-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 15 at the 45.
Well, there's only going to be a couple more plays till you hit the 4th quarter.
Would like to see a little more urgency, maybe a hurry up or no huddle. I mean, I know you're down 4 scores and it's going to take a minor miracle to get back in it, but time is running out, and Clarion-Goldfield is going to definitely try to hold on to the ball and play keep away once they get it back. Robinson complete to Nolan. He's got some room along the sideline. Nice move. Splits two defenders, and there's a 14-yard gain, and he's marked just shy. Looks like just shy of the first down. It's going to bring up third and about a foot.
So that's going to run out the fourth quarter, though, with only 5 seconds left, and they're really going to have to pick up their. I mean, okay, so it's a minor miracle, but the miracle's not going to happen if you don't pick up your pace a little bit. So
12 minutes left in this ball game. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the fourth quarter action. Stick around. Welcome back to TJ McLaughlin Field in Waterloo, Iowa. Just the beginning of the fourth quarter as the Sailors looking to try to dig into this lead a little bit and chip away. But as you mentioned, Jeff, you've got to put some points on the board and then maybe get a 3-and-out or a turnover if you want a chance to get back in this ballgame. You need to put up 4 scores to close this gap and tie it up. Robinson in the shotgun, 3rd and short. We're going to throw to the outside to Nolan, makes a leaping catch at the 25, drags his defender down to the 20-yard line, and a nice pitch and catch there for a 10-yard gain. But Nolan has been dangerous after the catch all season long.
Yeah, he's got good hands. He caught that. One more little juke move, he's in for a score. But, he's had a great junior season with his receiving and maybe the quarterback next year. Who knows?
He may be, yeah. With Robinson being the senior, when Robinson was out one full game in a few series in another game, Nolan did pick up the quarterback duty, so it'll be very interesting to see what they do next year. Robinson, hands off to Schultz, who gives the end around to Nolan, and Nolan's going to throw the ball, and it is caught by Owen Hosh. A little trickery. The ball was handed to Drew Schultz, who flipped it to Bryce Nolan, who looked like he was going to go around in the end around, and instead threw the pass to Owen Hosh.
So not even quite a halfback pass. It was a wide receiver pass because Nolan's a wide receiver. Of course, we kind of alluded to that right there.
About the quarterback
He's played
skills.
some quarterback, and he threw a nice ball there. There's a real good catch, too.
11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Sailors have it 1st and goal from the 9. Schultz sidesteps one tackler, and then he's driven backwards, but he does get 3 yards on the forward progress. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from about the 5-yard line. 10:45 ticking away. I understand you're down 4 scores, and it's going to take a lot, but I don't love having Robinson come all the way over to the sideline to take the play call with only 10.5 minutes left.
Yeah, and what you may want to do is you might want to have 2 in your pocket, right? So hey, we're going to run this, we're going to run this, regardless of down and distance. Save that extra 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds tripped off the clock between 1st and 2nd down. Sailors on the keeper here, rolls to his right, rolls left, throwing it out of the back of the end zone. Boy, that almost looked like a late hit on Robinson, but wisely throws it out of the end zone. I thought he had Hosh early in that route pattern right at the goal line, but with a little hesitation there, and then everyone was covered up, and he wisely throws it out the back of the end zone for 3rd down here.
Yeah, I think the other thing Robinson could have done there is I think he could have just turned the jets on him and just, hey, at one point, just tuck that thing and go.
Yeah,
and he's
done
going to
that
get
all
some yardage.
season. Yeah, he's done that all season and done it well. So 3rd and goal from the 5. Sailors down 28 here with 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Robinson rolling. He flips it to Nolan, who's going to keep it around the end, and there is absolutely no room there. He's swallowed up by 3 Cowboy defenders. I mean, just no blocking, not well executed by the Sailors, and it's going to bring up 4th and goal from the 12.
Yeah, that did not fool any of the Cowboys. Execution was poor on that. Now it comes down to either a touchdown or turned over on downs.
So Sailors really in desperation mode here with 9.5 minutes left in the ball game, down 28, 4th and goal from their own 12. They need a score here. 3 wide receivers left. Robinson in the shotgun, drops back, fires to the end zone, caught. That ball is caught by Owen Hash, and that is a Sailor touchdown. And we have a 3-score ball game. The Sailors fighting for every yard and point tonight, not quitting, and they love to see that out of a high school football team.
Yeah, great response there on 4th down. You had to score a touchdown or you're going to turn it over back to that potent running game. And, what a nice throw and a really good catch by the Sailors.
Great route. Owen Hosh gets good separation on the slant route there. Brings the ball in for a touchdown. Sailors going for 2. Robinson rolls to his right, looking for Hosh. And that ball is caught for the 2-point conversion. So we got a 20-point ball game here with 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter. And this is really going to come down to a very important drive on defense. You're going to have to get the stop.
Yeah, and being 3 scores down, I mean, you could argue now if you're going to pooch kick that thing, maybe pick the other side of the field, put a couple other guys on that side and have them run to the ball. So it's not an onside kick, but you're putting all your eggs in that basket trying to get that ball back.
And maybe you do. I mean, with the way their offense has really dominated the football game, maybe you do just straight up line up in an onside kick. Because, I mean, you're going to have to get 3 more scores or you're down 20, only 9 minutes left. With the way their running attack is dominated tonight, I'm not so sure you don't just straight up onside kick here. Interesting to see what the Sailors do. Giving it all the fight they've got. You love to see that. Coaching staff pulling out all the stops. Coached by the Columbus Sailors are coached by Coach Brad Schmidt. Been here over 12 years now already. Had a great coaching career and many years left in the tank for him, we hope. Assistant coaches, Terrell Foster, Mitch Ram, Nick Bellamy, Drew Robinson, Jed Smith, Caden Ludwig, and Don Patnode. Just a phenomenal coaching staff here at Columbus. We're really, really lucky to have all those guys leading the Sailors this year.
Yeah, real good coaching staff, and got a whole slew of these juniors coming back next year. Not that I'm putting the final nail in the coffin in this game yet, but future's bright.
A lot of core coming back from that sophomore and junior class. Very strong class with athletes. Next year we'll lose a couple of seniors, couple key seniors being Alani Robinson, Drew Schultz, a couple guys like that. Kemonte Humphreys, a big loss. But hoping, there's the onside kick. It takes a huge hop. And we were right there and didn't go aggressive enough with the football.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Sailor, I'd have to see a replay of that. There was 1 or 2 guys had a chance at that. I don't know if they didn't know it went 10 yards yet. But I think as soon as you can get that, you've got to jump on it. And you know what? If you do it early, then you do it early.
Boy, it just took the exact time. That was a beautifully executed onside kick by Nolan. When the Sailors can't bring it in at midfield. Now, you get the ball to 49-yard line. You're going to have to get a quick stop here or a takeaway. The Sailors on defense, bunch formation, double tight, wing back all night from the Cowboys. No reason to change it now. Flips it to Meyer in the backfield, who runs over a couple of Sailors for another 8-yard gain, and that's not a good start on first down for the Sailors.
And that's what you're getting. You're getting the same old from the Cowboys there, and they know where their bread's buttered at, and they are just ramming it down the Sailors' throats up to this point.
Sailors need to dig deep here on 2nd and 3. 8:50 now left in the fourth quarter. One receiver wide. Hefty under center. It's a handoff that looks like offsides, and that's a flag. They're chasing him to the outside. And it looks like that's going to be forced out of bounds for about a 3-yard play, but I think the Sailors are offsides, and it's going to be a first down via the penalty. Pretty clean game, played both ways. Little surprised not a few more holding calls. This much running in high school football, there's always a hold there somewhere.
Yeah,
but
referees have not thrown many flags, and don't know if they're just not seeing some things or it was that clean of a game. But they're walking them back. That's what I actually thought it was. I actually thought there was
motion.
I thought there was a little bit of motion or a little false start. We jumped on that. That's what I thought.
Gotcha. So legal motion. It looked like 2 men in motion at the same time. Didn't come set. So the Sailors catch a break there, and it's 2nd and 8 now from just about midfield. Hefty under center.
I thought they moved again. They did.
Moved again. So a couple of miscues here will bring up 2nd and 13. And really, you need to catch a break here from the Sailors and capitalize on these 2 false starts, or 2 pre-snap penalties, I should say, and really need a takeaway here or get a stop on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down.
Yeah, clock continues to roll right at 8-minute mark left in the ball game.
Double tight wing formation all night for the Cowboys. Hefty wants to keep it around the end. Great job by the Sailor D-line. Finally, a little bit of penetration there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 13. And the Sailors still showing some signs of life here as they fight down 20 here with 7:45 left in the fourth quarter. Sailors giving it all they got tonight. No reason to leave anything on the sideline. Leave it all out on the field. We're down now under 7.5 minutes. 3rd and 13 at the Cowboy 46, I'm sorry. Hefty in the shotgun. Hands off to Meyer, who then hands off to Gonzalez on the reverse. And boy, that is a backbreaker. He's down the sideline, still going, and that's all the way down to the Sailor 20-yard line, and that's a first down, and that one's tough. That hurts.
Yep, had him backed up with a smidge of a chance. You're going to get the ball back to see what happens. And once again, that inside-outside game. Gonzalez on the outside, Meyer on the inside. And, the big thing there, well, a couple big things. You got that first down, whole new set of downs. They're going to run this thing down to like 4 or 5 minutes. And then a score would obviously
pitch
put it out of reach.
Meyer. Trying to stray it to the sideline. It's like Sarda in pursuit there. Gets the stop, but not until after about a 6 or 7 yard gain. And the Cowboys will have it 2nd and 3. Now under 7 minutes left in the ball game. Time running out on the Sailors 2025 season. And these are always tough spots. I mean, these kids work all year now. It's not just hey, get geared up in the summer and let's hit the game in August. I mean, you've had a boy in this program. I've had a son in this program very recently. And these kids, they'll start working tomorrow. I mean, it's about the weight room in the off season. Both Nick Bellamy has started a great foundation on the weight and strength and conditioning program, and Jed Smith has taken it to a whole nother level. And that one's going to be down to the 1 yard line on the run by the Cowboys. But really, it's going to start tomorrow, and they'll lift weights all off season. They run OTAs during the winter and spring, and then you're right back into it in August next year.
Yeah, but you have to do it. You want to know why? Because everybody else is doing it. And bigger, stronger, faster usually wins. And you've got a good coaching staff, so guys have to you're going to have to be better than this year's team to put up with that kind of rushing attack and stop it, because you're going to see somebody just like this next year in the quarters, semis, or first round.
Cowboys on the run. That's Gonzalez who takes it in for the Cowboy touchdown. And that one's going to put it out of reach. That might be the final nail in the coffin. It's going to put the Cowboys up 40-14 on the Sailors with the PAT pending, with only 5:38 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, big tip of the cap to Clarion-Goldfield-Dows. Boy, they drove the hour and a half straight over on Highway 3 and a little bit south, and dominated the game.
They really did. The Cowboys have scored on 6 possessions in a row. They started the game with a fumble on their first possession, and then 6 possessions in the row with really zero passing. Just all running, lined up and said, hey, we're going to run inside, we're going to run outside, we're going to run reverses, we're going to quarterback keeper, and you're just going to have to find it and try to stop us. And, tip of the cap to the Cowboys, who really are going to be a tough out in these playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll probably get they'll probably get a number 1 seed next week. I don't know if they get Grundy Center. Maybe you get Beckman. Maybe they travel. But boy, I like that. I think you can score on these guys. I think that might be their Achilles heel.
I agree.
And then if you stop them a couple times, you could probably beat them. But you got to stop that running game, and it's a heck of a good high school running game.
Yeah, impressive wins over the Cowboys by South Hardin and Grundy Center, both really won by multiple scores. I think Grundy won by like 50 points, right, and South Hardin might have run by 20 points or so. So definitely some really good talent and tough teams in 1A. Sailors a little, I wouldn't even say flat tonight. They just got beat by a better team, which is going to happen. There's only one team that ends the season on a win. But really a big shout out all season to this coaching staff, the seniors. We mentioned them at the top of the broadcast, but you've got 6 seniors here. 7. Amani Robinson at the quarterback position has played quarterback and safety all season. Drew Schultz played both way at running back and linebacker. Ball's on the ground there for the 2-point conversion, and looks like they're going to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion to make it 42-14. But Monty Robinson, Drew Schultz, Nick Sarda has been a key player there on defense. Kemonte Humphrey, as we said, has just been one of our absolute favorite players to watch this year. And then some role players, some Caden Clark, Carlos Cabrergel, and Griffin Frost.
Right.
A lot of role playing there and leadership, locker room guys. So the program, you talk about it, you come into the year and you want to leave a program better than you found it. And after a 1-7 season, your junior year, now you go 5-3 and get back to the playoffs after 1 year sitting out. And that's the definition of leaving a program better than you found it.
Yeah, and I think if you ask Coach Schmidt or any of the coaching staff, I think the minimum bar that is set now for Columbus is you're making the playoffs. Now, the high bar is making it back to the Dome, being Final Four, maybe even better than that. But that's the minimum bar that you've raised everything to playoff every year, and then try to make a deep run.
And that was not the case for quite a while here at Columbus. Give Coach Schmidt all the credit in the world. There was the first 3, 4, 5 seasons where they didn't win many football games, if any.
Yeah.
And he's sitting around going, I know I've got talent here. Is this a me problem or is this a we problem? And then all of a sudden, the strength and conditioning room gets remodeled. You start putting in the off-season work. Kids are getting bigger and stronger, and they're buying in. They're buying into that culture. And what they've built here is really a culture of not only just winning, but support, good sportsmanship, great young men, contribute to the community. They're in Sunday Mass. Just from top to bottom, really raising some fine young men here. And the side benefit is that you get a lot of wins. And boy, they've been in the playoffs, I think, 9 out of 10 years, 8 out of 9 years, something like that. It's been a great run.
It's quite a run. Quite a run.
Very impressive. And no doubt that the juniors and sophomores on this team will continue that tradition. I really think that Sailors will be a dangerous team next year. Drew Schultz gets the handoff up the middle after the kickoff, runs up for about 2-yard gain. 5:26 winding down in this fourth quarter. Sailors down 42-14. Trying to milk what's left of this 2025 season. And, Jeff, talk about these seniors just a little bit more. You've had a boy here, Columbus, like I said. That last game where you kind of see it come, this isn't going to be a drama or you don't know if you're playing next week or not, ball game's pretty much over.
Yep.
What does it mean to the Sailor, seniors, parents in the stands? Those are tough nights as a parent.
Well, it's always funny to me. The end comes so fast because you're not. I don't know anybody that prepares for a loss. So right now, you pretty much, you could be on the field and go, we're probably going to lose this game, but I don't think anybody walked in the stadium 2.5 hours ago thinking Columbus was going to lose this game.
No.
So yeah, it's. I don't want to, put too fine a point on it, but it's almost like a death in the family.
Yeah, it's abrupt.
That's how bad you feel. And then, of course, you get over it and you try to get better and improve for next year. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough losing, and then tough losing in the playoffs. High profile game.
Yep. Pass completed to Noland over there for a 5-yard gain, bring up 2nd and 5 at the Cowboy 48-yard line.
In the second or third part of that, just the Columbus fans, hey, they get over it a little bit better, but you got to go home with the parents, and the parents live it every day with you too, and it's tough on the parents too.
I think after my boy was a senior when we made the run to the Dome, and I think my wife took the loss tougher than my son did. She was devastated, and that's the way being a mom and a dad works. Robinson with a nice scramble out for a 20-yard gain. Sailors still battling, still fighting, bring up a first down at the 32-yard line. The next round playoffs, I believe, for 1A are set to be announced on the Iowa High School Association website at 10 a.m., so keep an eye on social media. 32 teams make the playoffs in 1A. That's the top 4 from each district, or 8 districts. So we'll be down to 16 teams. Right. The state association will seed everybody in 4 pods of 4. So you'll play a game. You'll play 2 games actually in your pod, and the winner of each pod will then go to the Dome for the semifinals and finals in that middle of November. So be interesting to see, where Grundy ends up, which pod South Hardin ends up. West Lyon is at the top. Underwood, I know, is up there. It'll be very interesting to see where these 4 pods line up.
Dyersville Beckman still got a pretty good team with 1 loss. I mean, there's some really, really good football in 1A this year.
Hudson got a win tonight. They'll be in the final 16, so it'll be very interesting. A lot of great football left. And the large schools, I think 4 and 5A are in their week 9 of the regular season.
Correct. Yeah.
And those playoff seedings will come out. Robinson scrambling. Now he wants to run it. Slides for about a 3-yard gain. And that'll be not a very good spot there. That'll be 3rd and 9. And the Sailors going to call timeout with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. I'm sorry, we have a man down on the field. So we'll take a quick injury timeout. We'll be back in a little bit here to wrap this one up. Sailors down 42-14 in the 4th quarter at TJ McLaughlin Field in Waterloo, Iowa. We're back. Lucas Clark was the injured Sailor on the play there, but he thankfully walked off under his own power. Robinson in the shotgun drops back, looking for a man. Nobody open, scrambling, trying to get away from the defense. Now he flips it downfield towards the goal line. It's tipped and caught. Tipped and caught for the touchdown. That's Spencer Schaefer. Unbelievable. Tipped at the goal line to his own man, and Spencer Schaefer is there to bring in the touchdown. and bring it to within 22 points here with 3 minutes left in the ball game.
A couple things on that play. Amani Robinson did a great job just keeping that play alive. He was running for his life, gave his receiver a chance, and Spencer Schaefer, great focus on that ball when it got tipped.
Looking for the extra point here. 3 minutes left in the ball game, 42-20. Monahan runs on for the 11th player here. Play clock down to 1. They get the snap off. Nolan's kick gets away. Boy, there was pressure in the backfield. I don't know how he threaded the needle through those defenders, but that's up and good. 42-21 with 3:03 left in the ball game. I want to give a couple of shout outs here this year. This is our 5th live stream at the 4 home games and now the playoff game. Marcus Chelson here alongside the legendary Jeff Bradley. I believe you were one of the masterminds of getting this live stream going a couple of years ago.
You know, it was it's been more than a few years ago, but got to give a big shout out to Dan Knipp.
Yeah,
he ramrodded it. I think I helped a little bit, but you know, we'd done it where we were filming on an Apple iPhone and me shouting over the crowd. That's how far we've come. I mean, it's like, oh boy, talk about technology. And then even I think last year, first half of the year, we were still passing the mic back and forth. So we didn't even have a headset. So we couldn't even hear each other talk half the time.
Yeah, we were passing a lapel mic back and forth, a little handheld deal. That was a little funky. But so big shout out to number 1, Columbus Catholic High School, Julie, the AD, Chief Administrator Tom Novotny, recognizing the value in things like this and investing in the huddle camera. I know Dan Knipp was a big proponent and fundraiser of that as well. That's not cheap equipment. That's the AI camera that's broadcasting the game. Bringing a hardline internet to the building. It takes a lot of infrastructure at an older building to do this kind of stuff. Correct. So big shout out to the administration at Columbus Catholic to get this going. Onside kick, not going to go 10 yards. And I think Clarion's going to recover that one at about midfield.
Yeah, the only way we're going to get that one back is if they actually touched it and then fumbled it because it didn't go the 10 yards. Yep.
Clarion's ball there at the Sailor 48. But Columbus Catholic High School administration has been wonderful to work with access and some equipment. Matt Morgan at Iowa Media has been very helpful in the soundboard and the headsets. Obviously, Brandon Bolin, our boy from B2 Productions, has done a lot in investing in software and all of the infrastructure that it takes to broadcast a game. Tonight specifically, like to thank again my buddy Chris Shipley coming up from Des Moines from Three Beards Media. Again, check out his YouTube channel, Three Beards Media. They got 9 or 10 awesome podcasts on there every week, which is really cool. So lots of support from fans, players, parents in the school here. And boy, that one's going to go to the house. That's Sesker that found the hole in the Sailor defense, and he was out of there like a cannon to answer the Sailor score there, and that's going to be 48-21 with 2:53. That did not take long. I think that was only 1 or 2 plays there from the 50.
Yeah, and I think Coach Smith has put some guys in that aren't 100% starters. Get them a few reps here, and Clarion-Goldfield. Obviously, I haven't stopped him all day on the run, but not going to stop him on that one either.
Yeah, I like that. I like him getting some of the younger boys in. Give your seniors a walk-off and a nice round of applause coming to the sideline. Obviously the ball, the game didn't go the way the Sailors wanted, but still, I would say after a 1-7 season, I mean, what a turnaround in just a season to get back to the playoffs, go 5-3 in the regular season, not just back in the playoffs, but a top 2 seed in your district. You get a home game. Very, very big turnaround for the Sailors this year.
Yeah, going to sting tonight, and probably in the near future. But I think when you look back, all in all, good solid season for Columbus Sailors, Coach Schmidt, and once again something to build on for next year.
Absolutely, and really, they came into the playoffs kind of how you wanted. You were playing your best football. They won 5 out of their last 6 after dropping the first 2 of the season. You mentioned that kind of get-right game against Lisbon on the road, tough-fought victory against a good team. And then they came home, Lost a tough one to Hudson, but got wins over Appleton Parkersburg. They got a big win over Union. They beat up on Jessup and Sumner Fred a little bit. And really a nice job to finish the season. That kick almost recovered by Clarion, but it squirts out of bounds. So the Sailors will get that ball at the 35-yard line on the illegal procedure on the kick out of bounds. 2:53 left in this ball game.
There was a flag on the field, but I do not know if they added any yardage, so it looked like the referee might have just picked it up.
Sailors at the 39-yard line. Robinson the shotgun, 4 receivers to the left side. Drops back, sling pass out to Drew Schultz, has some blocking. And he's tackled for about a 5-yard loss. Sesker did a nice job shedding his block and making the open field tackle on Schultz. Bring up 2nd and 6 from the Sailor 44. 2:33 left in this fourth quarter. Sailors are going to finish the season 5-4, 5-3 in the regular season. Lost in the playoffs 5-4. Robinson drops back. Pass to Nolan, complete. Squirts along the sideline there, and that's going to be good enough for a Sailor first down just into Cowboy territory at the 49-yard line.
First down.
Wonderful crowd here, stuck around through the power outage that first hour. For those that weren't with us at the top of the broadcast, a transformer blew on a Mid-American pole here behind the stadium. And thankfully, they sent a truck out within moments and got this game going, albeit an hour late. Going deep for Hash, goes up. That's simultaneous possession, and that's going to be a catch. Simultaneous possession goes to the offense, and that's a big strike play.
I think they both got it when they hit the ground. Haas wrestled that away from him right towards the end, and that referee called it right away that was a completed pass.
Just love the fight and the grit. I mean, you don't ever want to be a team that's going to lay down or roll over against a tough team. You want to fight to the end, and boy, the Sailors still with 1:50 left in the ball game and down 27 points, giving it everything they've got and leaving it out of the field. Robinson in the shotgun, Drew Schultz in the backfield, drops back, looking, rolling to his left. He's got a man to beat along the sideline, beats him down to the 5. Nice scramble there by Robinson. And bring up 2nd and 5 from the, well, it must be 2nd and goal. How's it 2nd and 5 from the 5? 2nd and 4, I'm sorry, folks. 2nd and 4 from the 5-yard line.
Just get a first down, but with a minute left, I mean, you're going to have 2-3 plays, try to score a touchdown and end on a high note here.
2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Robinson looking for the end zone. He has Smith out on the edge. Just overthrows him towards the sideline. Mason Smith, I think, came from the tight end position and ran basically an out route right along the goal line, and the ball a little too far out in front of him.
Yeah, good job by Smith in that nice crisp cut there, and had his guy beat by 4 or 5 yards. Yeah. Just could not put it in his hands.
Yeah. He's going to be a standout. He's only a freshman this year, and he's played a lot of varsity minutes. Big, strong kid. He'll put on that sophomore, junior weight in the next couple years, and he's going to be a beast for Columbus. Robinson, shotgun again, drops back, rolling to his right, lets it rip, and that's caught for the touchdown. Bryce Noland on the out route brings it in. Boy, the Sailors just fighting. I know it's a little too late, but boy, you got to tip your cap to these Sailors. The coaching staff, the seniors, the juniors, the sophomores, all of them, the freshmen, still life in this ball club. Down 21 here with 53 seconds left in the ball game. Nolan to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, up. And no good. Squeaks wide right on Nolan. The Sailors down 21 with 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Would imagine you come out and why not try another onside kick? You done two in a row. Let's see if we can steal one.
Yeah, I think it's third time's a charm, Marcus, on that kick. Should have actually had the first one. Second one had no business getting that one, but that first one they probably should have got.
Yeah, that one popped up 7 feet in the air on that real big hop, and they did have a chance to get that one. Yeah, to your point, and who knows, they might have some younger kids in the game now. You don't know if starters are still in on both sides, but to your point, I do think you can score on this Cowboy team. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. They were the better team, came to town and ran the field on us, but I do see some vulnerability there in the second round. If you're up against a tough offense that's clicking, and not, Sailors a few miscues tonight, but if you're clicking, they'll give up some points, and that keeps your run game off the field.
Yeah, and part of playing in that tough district, getting that third seed, they're not going to get any favors there in that next pod.
Yeah, they'll have to play a 1 seed. Yep. They'll play a 1 seed for sure, and then they'll have to probably beat another 1 seed if they want to make it to the Dome. Yep. But if they get the running game going, I mean, that matches up well against a lot of teams. Another nice onside kick. That ball's loose. There's a pile up. They're going to have to unpile the wreckage down there.
Yeah, I think Clarion got it, but that was another chance that you had.
Yeah.
That was another good chance.
Bounced off one Clarion player, and another Clarion player picked up the loose ball at the 47-yard line, but just a game of missed opportunities by the Sailors, even though they're giving it everything they got, just not bouncing their way this evening. So 50 seconds left in the ball game. Likely just a couple of kneel downs here will bring it to a close.
Yeah.
Cowboys in victory formation.
Would not have guessed 75 points in this ball game either.
No, that is definitely something. I think Vegas lost on the over-under on this one.
Cow.
Yeah. And it looks like they'll have to snap the ball one more time.
Yep.
Again, thanks to all of the viewers out there for all the support. Thank you, Jeff, for a great season in the booth. Thank you to Brandon Bolin from B2 Productions this year. All the support from the Columbus Catholic High School Sailors. Chris, thank you, sir. Wonderful job on the production. Make sure everyone out there checks out Three Beards Media on YouTube and give Chris Shipley some love for making the 2-hour drive up so that made sure we could have a broadcast this evening. Well, Jeff, great season.
Yeah, last thing, I mean, it's my pleasure calling the game with you, Marcus. Have a ton of fun. And what else you going to do on a beautiful Friday night? Watch the Sailors play football. Good luck to the Cowboys the rest of the way. Hope they make a run.
Absolutely. Hats off to the Clarion-Goldfield-Dows Cowboys. Certainly the better team this evening. Really wish them all the luck. Have a great rest of the postseason, and then hopefully they can make some damage happen in that next pod.
Yes, sir. And if nothing else, meet us back here about 9 months, and we'll start this whole thing again.
That's exactly right. Everybody have a wonderful rest of the 2025 football playoff season. That's going to do it for your Sailor season. They finished the season 5-4, but back in the playoffs, which was a nice touch. And folks, we're signing off for the season, and we will see you back here in August of 2026.
Very good.
Take care.
Good night.